As the ball sailed over the left field wall, Busch Stadium erupted, and Mark McGwire rounded the bases victorious. It had finally happened. One of baseball's most iconic records had fallen. Home run number 62. But there was something much bigger going on this season. And as a certain Cubs center fielder came in to congratulate McGwire, you just know he was thinking, this ain't over yet. 1998 was the most fun baseball has ever been. You can fact check me on that, but don't bother. Starting in 94, when the strike derailed King Griffey Jr. and Matt Williams' drive to break the single-season home run record, it had become clear that it was going to fall eventually. What made these sluggers so good at hitting home runs all of a sudden in the 90s? Easy. Their stocks in the dot-com bubble were doing great, and that peace of mind and a good economy gave them nothing to think about but mashing homers. By midsummer 98, it was obvious that Roger Maris's single-season record of 61 home runs really was finally going down. The question was, who would do it? Here's the thing, back at the end of May, there was no McGwire-Sosa home run chase. You see, Big Mac was already sitting at 25 dingers, while Slammin' Sammy was just at 9. Then Sosa began to rise and clobber at an unbelievable rate. On August 19th, he briefly passed McGwire with a 48-47 lead. So while McGwire was the one to pass Maris first, the race was still cooking, and Sosa was the one who had a summer's worth of momentum. After McGwire hit homer 62, it would be a full week before he took one out of the park again. In that time, Sammy tied things up, becoming the second man to pass Maris on September 13th. Although he got around 1/100th of the celebration McGwire had received a few days before. From there, the two sluggers went back and forth for the rest of September, Mark staying a nose ahead most of the time. But then, on September 25th, it happened. Sosa crushed number 66 at the Astrodome, and now led by 1 with the season 99% done.
Sammy's got the home run lead!
The lead only lasted a few minutes, when McGwire hit 66 at home in St. Louis. Now with 2 games left to play, the greatest race in baseball history was tied. Sosa was on the verge of changing the way 98 was remembered, and making that glorious celebration in St. Louis earlier in the month look completely premature. Of course, we also have to look at some context at the end of this race. You see, while the rest of us only really cared about home runs, the Chicago Cubs were fighting for their playoff lives down in Houston, while the Cards were already eliminated. Sammy had to think about the team and a postseason berth. McGwire just had to swing, and swing he did. On September 26th, he crushed 2 home runs, and on the 27th, 2 more, for an unbelievable 70 total.
How much more can you give us, Big Mac?
Meanwhile, Sosa went 4 for 9 in those last 2 games with an RBI and a run scored, but no home runs. But here's the thing, as crazy as it sounds, it still wasn't over yet. That's because the Cubs were all tied with the Giants after the season, necessitating a Game 163 for the NL wildcard, which counts towards a player's regular season stats. It would take a monumental effort, but Sosa could still catch McGwire, even if it would come with a huge asterisk. Alas, there were no homers that day, and while Chicago won the game and clinched a playoff spot, the celebration meant that McGwire had officially hung on. And now, it's over. For those of you wondering, yes, these are my mint condition, still in box with tags on Salvino's Bammers from 1999, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. I will be accepting $1,000 for both of these. Let me just do a quick eBay search, and okay, yeah, they're worth $8. I'm pretty sure I spent $15 for them a piece back in '99. Nothing lasted from the night.